So in this video, we're going to talk about balance and why you are perfect the way you are. Everything in the universe requires balance. This is a weighing scale all the time. Everything is required, that we have to tap into the darkness every day and we have to tap into the light every day. We have to forgive, we have to let go, and we have to be at peace. That's just the requirements of moving forward. And a lot of us, because we have these notions created by the human race, created by the programming, created by the grand construction, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, it just makes us want to hold on. Want to hold on so tightly. I've held on to things for years sometimes, grudges and arguments or, even situations. And what you notice when you actually make peace with them is they're gone. They're fully gone. So what we do is we actually become addicted to thoughts. We become addicted to our situations, addicted to our own victimhood. And that stops us from getting into balance, right? Because the more balanced you are, the more you let go of, the more you rise. And you rise, and you rise, and you rise. And if you can rise high enough, then you'll become enlightened. Because there's no other ceiling. The light is here, shining down. And the lighter you get, the more you float. The lighter you get, the more you float. And you can float, but you need to let go of the weights. And these weights, it's easier said than done. But you gotta just do it. You just gotta do it. For years and years, I used these kind of videos, these self-help videos on YouTube as like mental masturbation. I'd just be watching again and again and again and again for years. For about 10 years I did this. And the only message I've understood is that we know exactly what we have to do. Because the thing that's most painful is always the thing that's the thing we're not facing. So if you can, and you don't have to face it all at once. You don't have to spend, like for instance, I've just had this fiasco where I thought, I've got to go deep into it for like 9 months. You don't need to do that. You can just balance out and take it one bite along the way. And then it will elongate the process a little bit, but it will be balanced. And you won't be doing this all the time, going, woohoo, woohoo, because that's what happens when we're not balanced, when we're not at baseline. We have this beautiful baseline all the time, this grounded version of ourselves. If we just like a heartbeat monitor, if we just did that, then we'd actually get from here very quickly. But instead we go, I'll go out drinking this night, and then we crash for 3 days. And then, let's do some drugs, and then we crash for 3 days. Let's stay up late, crash for 3 days. I'll get back, I'll sleep in a bit later. Do you see what I mean? And it's even the same with trauma. All of us have trauma built in. We've got it literally built into our bodies. It's not in the mind. The mind is just a sea of fish of thoughts. They're not our thoughts. They're just out there projected by the infinite consciousness. But the trauma is in the body. We store it in the body. And the more we kind of neglect just sitting still and meditating on it and bringing our presence to what is actually happening, and not judging it, not facing some demon, that's not what it is. It's about befriending yourself. It's about being kind and compassionate and really looking after yourself. Because like I said, you're perfect. You're not damaged. You're just a perfect thing covered in cobwebs. And those cobwebs look like they're part of us. It does. They've discoloured our beautiful machine finish. We've got these beautiful chrome finishes underneath, and it's tarnished because it's covered in cobwebs, covered in dirt, and that's not you. So don't think that by getting rid of this stuff you'll be anything less than you are now. You'll be so much more. just one cobweb at a time, and just face it in little bite-sized chunks. You know, get therapy, get out the house, get moving, meet new people, go and explore, go and see new things. Broaden your perspective, and you'll see that these things that have been with you for so long just become smaller. And they become so small that they're just insignificant. Because a lot of us, I think everyone to a certain extent, wastes a lot of fucking time. We waste a lot of time overthinking, you know, putting our thoughts and our time towards stuff that does never suit us and never will. You know, hedonistic approaches and stuff like this. When, if you just come back to yourself and really truly see where you want to be, then there's no room for stuff like depression. There's no room for that. It doesn't exist. It can't exist. Because you are with your perfect self. You're not with the identification anymore of some dark hold, some belief system. There are no belief systems when you come into yourself. There's nothing. And when you see that, you realise that then you have the ability to be anything you want. Because you come back to that actual singularity. And this, of course, is terrifying, because what it will do is you will start to remove layer after layer of yourself and think, oh, hang on, if I keep doing this, there'll be nothing left. Who am I? Who am I without my depression? Who am I without my trauma? Who am I without my story? Who am I without anything? It's a nightmare. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. No, you are everything. You are absolutely everything. You are pure consciousness. You're all that goodness. Those things are just stories you've kept, like books. You are not a book that you read. Even if you remember the book and you get into the character and you understand, like an actor. I used to be an actor. And I used to get deep into these characters. And sometimes it's hard to separate, especially if you've been in them a long time. I remember I played, in 2018, I played the role of an abusive husband, some old man, and my partner, my acting partner, we went through this, and we knew this wasn't real, but it was very hard to detach, because we were shouting, we were saying mean things to each other. You know, we were saying the stuff like we mean it in front of an audience, and it stuck for a long time. It was not nice, and then we had to go through a decompression process for a long time, really talking about it with each other, just being like, you know that this isn't real. This, you know, we didn't mean this stuff, and we spent a lot of time together reconnecting and connecting with the group as well, because it's just a very intimate thing, acting. So it takes it out of you. It's like what's his name, the guy that did that Elvis film, something Butler. Anyway, I can never his name. Never remember. You'll know the name. Mr. Butler, a handsome guy. He got stuck with the accent of Elvis because he'd put it into his mouth for so long. And same with when I do impressions of people. It's all the same. It gets stuck. And what you realise is when you come back, when you really let go, there's all these things. They then come over here. They're then something. They're on a wall like posters, and you can pick to get them away, or to go, yeah, I'd like that again, I'll put this mask on or whatever. So I really hope this video gives a bit of perspective on just everything for you, because this is a long road of discovery for myself, and this took a very long time to understand and to process. A lot of energy to really get through and stuff, and to digest. But once I really came to these conclusions and understood it for what it is, because this is not some belief system. When you go to the end of your existence, it's just there. That's just what it is. It's like, in another country, perhaps this leaf has a different name, but it is what it is. It's a leaf. It exists. It's physical. I can touch it. It's right there, right now. When you remove these layers and you completely go back to the observer, that's just what's there. This is just a measurement I'm talking about here. So please don't, I know what I've said in this video will be quite harsh and maybe quite upsetting to some people. And if it's upset you, then look at what's upset you. Like genuinely look at it for what it is. And try and understand where that pain's coming from. Because that's the process. That's exactly what we're talking about here. If you find that epicenter of the pain and you just observe it, you come to it and you go, okay, I'm being, this is coming to me, this stress. Even like yesterday, this is the last thing I'll say on this video, and I'll have my gorgeous cup of tea. Someone yesterday, he called me he was antagonising me. So someone I met at work, he kept poking and prodding, kept going, oh, and he kept saying it so I'd hear it as well, like calling me a cockney cunt and all of this stuff, which to most English people I think would be fairly offensive. But to me, I'm not offended by it, because first of all, it's someone trying to poke, and also it's just words. It's not real. Like even I'm English, but what? So I don't really care. Like England's just a thing that I've been told is a thing, just like the leaf. Other countries, I don't have a country. I'm a human being on planet Earth. That there is no land that is mine. There's no land that is yours. It's all the same thing. We're all the same person doing the same thing infinitely throughout time anyway. So there's nothing to be offended at. You can't offend something that cannot be offended. Do you see what I mean? So take it as that. Take it as that. It's like if I painted a beautiful painting and someone goes, well, I fucking hate that. It's like, okay. You hate it. Good. That's your thing. I don't hate it, I quite like it. Maybe other people quite like it. Do you see what I mean? There is infinite possibility with this. So there is infinite possibility you're going to be upset, and there's infinite possibility you're going to get a lot of good stuff out of it. So, balance. Time for some tea. Time for some really good tea. We'll leave this one here. I enjoy making these videos, I do, because this process took so long for me to wrap my head around, so many years, and actually it's very simple. And if I had started with this, let's say and again, doesn't matter because time, everything that happened got me to this anyway, but if I could gift my 16-year-old self a book that would teach me all this stuff. And it's funny, I probably wouldn't get it if I read it, right? Because you can't. It is when you have the right time, you have the right time. I got all my books out to pack for my traveling. I just bought a Kindle, a second-hand Kindle, so I could put all my books on a Kindle so I could bring them with me. This Kindle's only, this big. And I thought to myself, let me just read through all this stuff to see if there's a different perspective. I bought all these books about 4 years ago. Reading through them. And the difference between my perception from then and now is unbelievable. I understood exactly what these books were saying. Before, I picked these books up, read a couple of pages, got so overwhelmed, put them down, never looked at them again. It was just too much. Couldn't handle it, hated it. Went, that's a shit book, put it on the shelf, read that, I'll read that later. And yet, I read a little paragraph from each book, and I full on just my openness to perceiving the information, my lack of offendedness for the growth of it. It didn't feel like some strong message anymore that was imposing on my person. It suddenly became a gift, and I went, that's amazing, delicious. Speaking of which, I've got some honey in there. I need to eat that before I go, and it's going to be delicious. So I'm going to go do that. I'll see you guys in the next video. I really hope in some way this helps. What I think would be really cool is to do a Q&A at some point. if you send some questions in the chat below, do whatever you want, subscribe, like, whatever, but send me a message in the comments, maybe for a future video if you'd like, if there's a specific subject you'd like me to cover. Maybe I could give a perspective on it. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm just a traveller. I'm just a weary traveller that is trying to understand this as much as anyone else, and I've just got a lot of perspective and experience with it so far, and I'm always trying to go further, so I hope I've got a perspective that might help, because you look at this internet and it's so vast, it's so good, but at the same time it's so shit. The amount of information on this thing, people are rubbish at actually translating their experience of this stuff. They're rubbish at getting the point across. And I'd like to think, and I've only just started, so I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I'd like to think what I'm saying might just be able to be understood by most people. I'm hoping that the way I'm talking, the way I'm presenting this information may actually be helpful. Because I see a lot of people, I know what they're saying, but I'm like, but I know what you're saying. But does everyone else know what you're saying? Because the way you've said it is too long, too complicated, too stretched out. I'd like to think that this is more of this isn't a video, this is a podcast, right? This is a talk, long talk, like a TED talk. I don't know. Long form content. This isn't some short little dopamine thing for you to go and watch more. This is a video that I want you to take away and maybe think about for a couple of months. Maybe let this, because again, the message is one message, right? It's let go, find balance, let it sink in. Meow. See you later.